everybody else. It's one of the two.
I mean, if you're winning tournaments with it, surely that means you're ahead, right?
It looks good. They're using this hero different than everybody else has been using it, which I think catches people off guard because it means they're willing to pick it in situations that I think a lot of other teams look at it and go, what the hell, why would you sniper there? We still have a counter pick. We still have some gap close that we can throw in the draft. Like, maybe the lane's not even that good for him. It doesn't matter. I think XM just likes to brawl with it. He likes the shrapnel points. He likes this Conda build. He'll go Ags Conda. He will just ramp into a spellcaster and not have to be dependent on being the primary physical damage dealer, which means this hero just kind of becomes, I don't know, like a mid hoodwink or something. Like just some guy you have spells and you run around in the fight and you draw attention and okay, maybe you die, but then guess what? Faceless Void and Mars get a better fight. So to me, it's an interesting way to utilize the hero, and so far it's been working. And the hero is always strong at fighting around mid in the runes. This hero pretty much doesn't lose lane to anything.
Yep.
And that can be pretty nice if you're playing him as a spellcaster. When you're playing him as a right clicker, you want to win the lane. I think we saw it in that game where Liquid picked it as the sniper puck, and then the puck got dodged, and they put the Wind Ranger mid, and this physical damage sniper didn't get his lane matchup, and that game just fell apart. Oh, double courier snipe.
Dire's
Or one courier snipe.
Let's the other one go because it's more important to deny the incoming regen.
Well, it was also Ame's courier, so.
Yeah, you think that's a fixation?
It's an S tier carry courier right there. He couldn't touch it. I'm interested to see what this offlane can do for Shopify this game. I think this is the most explosive lane for them in the game in terms of that 5 to 10 minute mark. When it hits nighttime, like what the hell is Phoenix Void doing up here, right? Unless you're willing to bring a crap ton of reinforcement up here, which Sniper doesn't want to do more than once, and your other two heroes may not be able to do it. I expect Ame to get kicked out, and I think Saberlight should have a very free game here with this last pick, Night Stalker. On top of that, Batrider, I think, has become the 4 position of the tournament. And if you're watching Forge dominate the first 20 minutes of Dota, it's this hero right here. So I expect the Olocore to have a good time with it. Again, you're up against the weakest lane in the game right now, to me, which is this Void Phoenix. Very defensive-oriented lane. You just want to get levels, you want to secure farm, but you're not doing much in an outright brawl unless you just mega outlane them.
So sets up the Night Stalker for success. He does get it in the end. Courier goes down. And this looks like an okay Night Stalker game going later, right? Like he's a pretty good answer to Faceless Void a lot of the time early on. He can gap close against Sniper. I'm a little bit concerned about the overall team fight, though, perhaps making it hard for Night Stalker to run in. I mean, the biggest thing is, right, that Supernova kills his nighttime, which, you know, if he pops his ultimate, he'll still be flying around, but he won't have the movement speed or attack speed buff. And also, like, the arena is just, like, it feels like Extreme have put them, given themselves a really nice, like, 2 heroes where they're just like, we own this area of the team fight, and there's going to be a sniper sitting around it, and you can't really fight into that.
Fight for the Lotus, and it'll go to Kitrak. They're honestly doing very well in this lane, doing well in all the lanes, but I tend to agree. The 5-on-5 becomes weird, and I do feel like part of this draft, if it goes ultra late.
Spear back though, RTZ is going to be able to catch up to him. Terrorblade's just a fast hero, man.
Damn. I mean, it is rare that you get that first blood kill with Elder Titan at the level 1 or 2. It's really hard. This is not an easy lane for the double melee. So honestly, Shopify stepping it up, putting on a laning clinic as we're used to seeing from the lane maestro himself, Artur Babayev.
How do you feel about watching Shopify lately? We haven't cast any of their games, but I know you've watched some of them. I mean, it's got to feel pretty good, right? Watching an NA team, you know, get back into form.
I mean, I'll say this. If there's one team that's caused me the most physical pain watching their games over the last 5 years, it's been this team.
Yeah.
But in the last few months, I feel like they've been one of the more fun teams to watch.
Yeah, certainly.
Their support duo is hyper aggressive. They can use their laning prowess to get out ahead in the mid game. Yopaj will play a huge hero pool. He'll be cocky with it. He'll set the fights up aggressively. This team just comes out guns blazing, it feels like, and they play with confidence. They don't play with fear. And I think we go back to some of those old Shopify rosters. I feel like that was one of the weaknesses down the stretch sometimes. The games got kind of stalematey. It fell into this farm fest. There wasn't really somebody willing to just jump in and suicide. And on this team, it feels like everybody's willing to do that.
Yeah, it didn't feel like they always were kind of like sitting back being like, oh, guys, we're going to win eventually or something like that. And there was never that urgency to like make plays, make moves. And a lot of time it was painful, frankly, for a lot of Shopify fans to watch those games. But number 2, I think you're right. They are still popping off on laning phase, right? That was always Shopify's one of their greatest strengths. And I think these 2 supports have brought a lot. As you said, the aggression is still there, but they haven't lost anything when it comes to laning phase dominance.
And that's a good combination. They can just propel you into a really strong mid game and just win you games straight up. And right now, they're pulling ahead, and most of it is onto that Terrorblade, man. Arteezy has gotten a lot out of what I would consider a pretty damn strong lane. Mars Wind Ranger. This is pretty much universally strong against almost anything. You just play the nukes right, especially against the Terrorblade, who can get abused by power shot if you just land a couple spear power shots. But, man, Kitrak played that lane well. He got good regen trades early, and now you have double rain drop up on that lane. You have wand charges. Artor is very secure down here, which means Kitrak can look for the Kunkka roam, 6-minute power rune. I mean, this is just ideal, right? You leave the Terrorblade alone, he's not in threat of dying, and you can try and snowball this Kunkka, who's just about to hit 6, get this boat online. I mean, Sniper he is absolutely terrified right now.
As he should be. The Stomp's going to land onto him. DreamLeague diving into the tower to help Yopaj go for the dive. We'll pull him back into the boat with the turret. Should be able to easily bring him down. We'll see if anybody dies in return, though. Jinkyu is here with the help of DY. He's going to dive in, hits a lot of heroes. The flame break does bounce him mid-dive, but it doesn't matter. He's got the kill on the Batrider, and he's got this damage over time that is overwhelming the other support as well. Kitrak will fall. DY, that is, I mean, they lose their sniper. That sucks for him, no doubt, but it gotta feel really good if you're Phoenix getting kills. Early experience on Phoenix is so good.
He's almost level 5 off that. I mean, DD rune from top did work in that exchange. And the whole time, Ame, he's been able to stand up here because they won that regen battle earlier. Saberlight not able to kick him out in his first portion of the nighttime. So this is also the downside of that move, because Ame, he's gotten a lot of time and space up here. I mean, honestly, both 5s in this game playing the early game really well between DY and Kitrak, and I mean, I love to see it.
Terrorblade second in CS. Earlier we were talking about how he was getting the most out of laning phase. It's because net worth. He's way farther ahead than everybody else. As you can see, even a step above the Kunkka right now.
And he's 1,000, more than 1,000 ahead of XXS here. So this is the biggest differential that's been opened up. I mean, Shopify could try and use it, right? Terrorblade's a hero you can rotate to, push the tower. He's doing it on his own. I think Saberlight doesn't want to leave this Faceless Void alone, so I don't know if this is going to be a game where he just opts to go all the way bottom here, but you could see a Kunkka rotation down here for sure. And I'm almost surprised he didn't make it because his catapult was still alive. Yopaj he's leading, but he's just doing jungle. I think this was an opportunity. Depends how confident they were, though. Without the level 6 on the Terrorblade, you end up in a dive situation. You don't have Sunder. Yeah. It gets a little weird, like you don't want to throw your game away, but it's good pressure regardless. Went for the early Falcon Blade as well, and I mean, this is the period where the Shopify lineup can heat up. Like, you have pressure that exists on this Kunkka and this Night Stalker lane. Your supports are strong early skirmishers. Extreme have to be ready. They have to be in the right place at the right time, predict the moves, react accordingly with both their supports.
It's definitely going to be a game that tests your support's game knowledge, right? Or just their read of the enemy movement around the map.
This is Yopaj's move to the side lane. Did not get the X.
DY is here to slow down their attack speed. This will slow down the kill on Ame. Will it be enough? The rotation's coming in. XM is here. The silence is not going to help them, and now Ame is able to turn around and get the kill on DreamLeague pretty easily, it looks like, as the Firefly helps do some damage to DY, but it'll still fall without a problem. So, we said, you posed it. This is going to be a test for Shopify, or excuse me, for Extreme in dealing with Shopify's aggression and counter-rotating. First part, they do pass.
Yeah, that's that one sniper TP you have. You're not going to have necessarily a second one if they want to make the move again. So Shopify can take that into consideration. Sometimes, I think this is a skill a lot of teams overlook, is just sometimes the move you have to make in Dota is not making a move. What is the enemy going to do? And your move is countering that. Yeah. And a lot of times that feels very counterintuitive because, like, oh, we're not doing anything. We're not being the ones assertive on the map. It feels defensive, feels passive. It feels like you're just kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen. But it's a very underrated skill and it can win you games. And just stabilizing this early game, this 5 to 10 minute period, getting stabilized for Extreme, getting a couple core pickoffs like this with your ults.
Yeah, DY, great example of that. Just sitting on the high ground, waiting for a rotation from somebody from Shopify. Saberlight gets himself killed as a result, trying to walk up that high ground. Jinkyu will get caught in the mid lane though, so Shopify still exerting pressure. This is kind of be expected, is that they're going to be putting so much pressure on all these various lanes. Somebody is going to suffer on the side of Extreme.
But hey, it's a 5 to 10 nighttime period where the first Elastic Night Stalker, who theoretically had a good lane matchup, he's the bottom network. Yeah. So if you're Extreme, I feel like you're not too sad about this period. I think your off lane could have got better, but it stemmed a lot of the aggression. You're looking at a 1K gold lead. We were looking at some of those replays before this match. Shop5 had some crazy leads in this tournament by the 10-15 minute mark. Yeah, they've been up 4, 5, 6K gold. So this is a team you kind of have to expect to come out of the gate running. They're going to have aggression. They're going to dominate, or at least try to dominate lanes and snowball off that. This might be one of the leads that could have gotten to that point if one or two of those moves had worked, and then you're just looking at a dead tier 1. Yeah. Ame has to jungle. You know, these things crumple very fast. Now they're going to use the arena. He's very
Supernova put to use, so he is definitely going to die here as he's already committed his skill point, so he doesn't have Sunder.
It's kind of a weird situation. He went for all the early EHP with the Falcon Blade, the Raindrop, the Wand, like a Strength Treads there, right? Don't save the point for the Sunder. I guess they don't want to just commit Power Ranger TP's bottom with multiple ults. It's the only way you take that fight.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Night Stalker in this situation, you don't hard win the lane against Faceless Void like you were supposed to. You make one bad daytime rotation, you're useless for the next 3 minutes, right?
And he also doesn't want to lose the pressure on that tower.
Yeah.
When he had Kata up there, he gets it for free. Shopify's still able to defend this, so objective-wise, they didn't lose a lot off that. But it is time that Artoris to walk back out from base. He was having a very free game. I mean, you got to remember, he was the one hitting XXS's tower at 5 minute mark.
Yep.
So that gets turned around on him, and once more Extreme finding these big ultimate-oriented pickoffs. Another deep ward. That's a nice one. It's going to pay off later. It does not get scouted, I believe. And could be the blade mail for Yopaj here. So he's very strong. Level 10. Blade mail double bracer. He's ready to go.
XM once again going to be dope by this Batrider. Pull him into the boat. Burst down the sniper. Got him pretty easily. Now they're going to try and run down some supports here as Saberlight cut across the map into this mid lane as well. Couldn't actually go for the Wind Ranger kill though.
In trouble?
He's going back for it, man. He's got that Void. Couldn't quite get in range. Either way, he has the, due to the use of the darkness, he can make sure they can take this mid tower, and so the pressure continues. Even if they didn't win that, like, hard win that laning phase part, they still have the pressure on towers. They can make the map small for an Extreme lineup that does need a lot of farm.
Just taking advantage of the fact that Egg is on cooldown. If DY has Egg there, that's a very different exchange. Sure. It's a lot harder to make that dive. I think Saberlight probably dies, but Shopify knows is on cooldown. They take advantage of the play bottom. They get mid tower. This is exactly what their lineup's designed to do. Backstab opponents around objectives. Get on the sniper instantly. Make his life a living nightmare.
Just goes for it.
Insanely aggressive.
Can he get the bashes required to get the kill? It's not looking like it. He's actually going to use the time walk forward. Ame,
what?
He took way too many chances with this one.
Where was the bash, though?
I don't know. He didn't get a single bash in that.
He hit him like 11 times and got one. I saw one at the start. Yeah, he never bashed him again.
Radiant structures are
I mean, that looks like a throw, but honestly, that... I don't know. I mean, give your lottery tickets to somebody else on the team. That was pathetic.
Well, that throws away Ame's position, which was not bad for lane he had to match up against. So watch that one again.
He just doesn't bash him. What am I watching?
Rough times, rough times.
Egg in the river. Got forced out here off the boat combo, so they're going to trade out ults. Should get kid track
plus the damage over time, time dilation. Ame's like, I've got a bash somewhere in here. It's locked and loaded, surely.
Is he broken? Is his computer broken?
Oh, shackle shots. Does that save Ame? Flame Break bumps him back. That might just be enough to pull him in kill distance again. They have the X coming up, the Torrent as well. This is surely going to be enough. The killing blow delivered by Yopaj. Same goes with XM to deal the core, but now puts him in an awkward position. Saberlight now tries to charge in, but the two supports just beat him back. Now he's going to die to an assassinate again. Remember, it refreshes after you get that kill, so he gets the one on Batrider. Now turns that onto the Night Stalker. Now he's going to be able to kill Yopaj with the same. Oh, he's out of mana.
Well,
it may be on cooldown, but he doesn't have the mana for it. Oh, that's sad.
I still stand by. If you get a kill with, you know, Culling Blade or Assassinate, it should refund the mana. That's just in a good spirit of the game.
Sure,
he should have been rewarded there.
You should have been able. You should be able to have the opportunity to kill 5.
Exactly. I want that penta shot, but still a great fight for XM, and again showing the power of this early game sniper with just tank ability between double Wraith Band, Dragonlance. Sure, you gap close him with the Night Stalker, but you get slowed by the Fire Spirits, you get slowed by this power shot going through, then there's a mini shackle.
And don't forget the tank game that's pushing you back the entire time.
And now they find Artur on a small camp, and he should be gone here.
Doesn't exactly land, but it does push back Extreme.
Okay, he's just gonna walk it off.
Making a run for it, and Saberlight, it's nighttime again, so even without the darkness, he is powerful. Sniper's trying to help out, but it looks like they're just reading this as, okay, everybody's here, guys. Oh, they're still going to go for it. Blink forward by XXS. Managed to get the pin on the Saberlight. Saberlight's just going to get pinned down by the Sniper, who will be able to collect that kill. And looks like they got Kitrek because of Ame with the Chronosphere.
Nice Chrono on the backup. Barely dodges that stomp as well. Almost slept Ame coming in from the side. Again, this Faceless Void finds some teamfight impact.
And again, the Night Stalker dies. I mean, this is a Night Stalker who's gonna fall way far behind. You're not getting, like, if you're not getting kills without dying in the first 2 night times, you usually just kind of fall off.
This is not the trajectory he wanted for this game at all. He could easily be top net worth here if everything was going according to plan, and he's gonna have to play from behind a bit. It's not a hero that functions that well from behind because you have to kind of go in and man fight other cores. Your spells aren't that impactful on their own. He's more about the net worth differential, and he also has to play into Phoenix here. So the longer that BKB gets delayed, those Fire Spirits are just debilitating him, man. DY has done a great job protecting the Sniper in these fights, and he's just going second item Ags, man. Like, XM got no chill. Just gotta start sniping people.
DY, the silence. Oh, hit by the stomp instead. They have the X as well.
This is that nighttime period.
Pick off.
Shotfire gonna group up and get these pickoffs. Just about how much Extreme can push the lanes out, especially with Chrono on cooldown. But as long as Ame's not dying, I don't know. Again, like, they just want to stalwart these nighttime periods. Go even, find some net worth for their Faceless Void. Once more, I think Yopaj has been the strongest hero on the map for the last 10 minutes, and I don't know if Shopify have gotten to use him how they wanted to. Now he has a shielder, and he's finishing a BKB here. I mean, he is going to be insanely strong. So you want to find the fight on the back of this Kunkka. Might be Extreme going into you. Have everything up. On up their Sniper Axe. It's close.
Yeah.
That's a missing net worth.
Yeah, because you've got 2,000 in your backpack. You've got a bit of gold that's being saved up for the point booster. So you're just missing out on a lot of stats and a big upgrade. They still want to go for it. And getting the Night Stalker is the best option at all.
Especially during nighttime. Yeah. He's wasting a lot of Saberlight's power point here.
Yeah, that'll just put like 1 minute left where he can try and make a move, and then we're back to daytime again.
They are still finding a lot of net worth on this bat, and we talked about at the start, this hero is, to me, becoming the 4th position in the tournament. He's got Blink, he's got 4 Stab, level 11 with the Ola Core. He's huge. If he can find one of these cores at the start of the fight, or even the Phoenix, I don't think he'd be too sad about taking the Phoenix out first. Open up the team fight a lot. The Chrono, the Arena both get weaker without DY behind them. And yeah, BKB done for Yopaj. Haste Rune in the back pocket. I mean, this is another objective collapse. Aim of the game the entire time. Flank these objectives, get a team fight going on your terms.
Because with the TV, right, if you get the successful pickoff aggressively, it probably means the tower's going to die. And we're going to see that here, potentially. Q. They pop the glyph. Win run's going to run out eventually here.
It's a little weird, but they will get it.
They'll get it eventually, as Extreme are not going to try and scramble. That is one thing, is that you do not want to try and react too hastily to some fight.
I mean, Artur's almost dead.
And he still has, Sunder, 5-second cooldown. The assassinate shot went for the Batrider. Looks like he didn't have vision of Artur.
That kick was not nearly as easy as I think they wanted it to be.
No.
But Artur does not die, so I guess no foul. But it did not result in like a quick kill in the tier 2 tower. And this is chrono back up for Ame. And now he's bashing.
Okay. Get the lasso, pull him into RTZ, who was still low from that previous fight, so pretty efficient use of Thunder.
It was all just a setup.
Yeah.
I never should have doubted him. He purposefully made that game take a long time to get low HP up the tower, so that when he went bottom and he knew the Mars was farming there, it guarantees that.
Yeah, because he's too strong to lose HP to neutral, so how else are you going to do it?
That's true, actually. That's his head-to-head play if I've ever seen one. And he's got Lightbringer, so he even has the extra regen. Would have been way too hard to lose that HP anyway. That's the strength of the Bat right now. I think the Core is very strong on the map. Other than getting shot in the back.
That's going to be a problem he's going to have to deal with quite a bit.
I'm not going to lie, part of me feels like this sniper build is troll.
I believe in it, man.
I do too, but it's...
I think people underestimate how stat-heavy Sniper gets with this kind of build. The Dragonlance Aghanim Scepter, it's got 2,000 HP.
I agree, and again, like, they're using him as a almost frontline spellcaster.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, do you remember way back in the day, Navi used to play Sniper on a Vost? And he went a BKB build.
Oh yeah, but they played it 4.
What?
Yeah, a Vost 4.
Okay.
Gotcha, that one. Havost played Sniper?
Yeah, they played BKB Sniper.
I don't remember that. You remember Havost, the Lifestealer, safe lane, heart first item?
Yeah.
At 13 minutes, people were like, this guy's a god. I watched that shit, I was like, I gotta get into this game.
This shit look easy, man.
This is like, I gotta play carry.
Yeah, why didn't you play? Why did you play 5?
I mean, nobody plays 5, they just get relegated.
No. So wait, you saying you weren't good enough for the other roles?
No, I was too good. Everybody else looked bad. Relegated myself.
I see.
Quick daytime Roche here. This is a heads-up play.
Yeah, but look at this positioning from DreamLeague. He have this map out so early on?
He might pop this smoke on D-Way. This is like a very weird situation, but Shotfire definitely not contesting without Enetsold. Should be guaranteed. Well, is D-Way gonna leave?
Well, of course he's gonna be able to blink it at the right time. He will not, and he's gonna get caught now.
Yeah, he knew somebody was there. That'll be an extra freebie. Aegis to Ame.
Oh, yeah,
here.
kill streak too, so that kill was worth 800 gold.
I mean, this is a very nice sequence for Extreme. This is kind of how you want to abuse Night Stalker. This is the weakness of the hero. His downtime is really down. So you got to extract as much as you can during that period. 2 other cores for Shotfire still farming the map really well. We're seeing the illusions run through to cut waves. But it might be Shotfire rebelling on the back foot now here as this Aegis period. That's a tough one to fight into, man.
Yeah. I mean, now, frankly, you're when you fall behind on Night Stalker, your go-in mechanism is no longer good enough. No, right? Because now he's just getting shot by the sniper, potentially on his way in. He's going to be assassinated.
And the big question is, what does Shotfire Rebellion's lineup do about BKBs? Because we're about to have BKB on Void and BKB on Mars in the next 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
And they do not interact well with them.
No, they don't.
They have they have the lasso jump. If you can start the fight, take it that way, burst a target, okay. I can see you taking that team fight. But outside of that, this Void and Mars are going to be pretty much invincible to have the fight they won. On top of that, you already have Greaves done on Q, who found his way to a lot more gold in the last 5 minutes. Wind Ranger is strong. And, I mean, the Conda's coming. race to the BKBs. Saberlight does have his first. And you wish you could get a fight off that right now. But Ame is right there with you. Even Teolokor going for his own.
Nice reaction. So BKBs for everyone, but it's pretty clear that Shopify has a much harder time dealing with BKB than Extreme lineup, right? They got a bunch of BKB peers.
Unless they can start on them, yeah. I mean, they do have Earth Splitter, something.
Yeah, they got the Lasso Earth Splitter combo, which kind of guarantees one hero death, right?
Yes, pretty much. I mean, the support duo is really nice, right? Like the way you win fights is, it sometimes just sets itself up.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Right now, it's Extreme pushing you back. They have another smoke going to the triangle here, looking for anything. They know they're incredibly strong during this Aegis period. And even if these moves fail, they're still getting farm for Ame.
Nice play by RTZ, cutting the mid creep waves so they can actually put pressure on the mid tier 2.
That courier.
Follow the spirit. Let's get tracked somewhere around here, but Ame isn't going to debase himself chasing after a lowly 5 position.
I mean, Shopify has done a nice job dodging this Aegis. Really haven't given anything up. All the 5-5 is pretty strong for XG, and they're still finding farm on who they need to. I'm surprised at how much Yopaj has gotten in this game. He is ginormous, man. 233 CS. He's got 3,000 HP. God damn.
Lasso into Torrent. Chain stun nicely with the boat and Earth Splitter on top. 100 to 0. That's exactly what we're talking about with the Lasso combo. They can kind of guarantee one hero is gonna die if they hit that Lasso.
And there's nothing actually you can do about it other than you have the Chronosphere there to bail out that fight. Right. So Shopify can just keep playing for this over and over and over. They get the vision out. They can scout with Spirit. They can scout with Night Stalker. I don't think there's any reason to really take a fight without having that go off, either at the start or secondary to Saberlight going in.
You know, it'd be sick. Get an Axe on Phoenix to counter it.
Yeah, that would counter it.
Not something he's going for anytime soon. He's got Rod of Atos, and he's going to go for Shiva's very normal stuff, but
what would actually happen is you dive into Egg and you get hit by a random Torrent, and you both dive.
Yeah, that is true. You're going to dive into Torrent Storm. That's a dangerous proposition.
I mean, how much?
Firebird.
You know, that's a Top Gun moment for sure. How much do you believe in the heart of the wings?
Chasing after that bird. He's slippery, but they'll get him eventually.
Committed the ult for it. But once again, it's actually getting nothing out of this Aegis period other than time, if they're content with that.
Would you be content with that?
I think so.
Right, you got Faceless Void.
Yeah.
Surely you're fine with any late game scenario.
I feel like whenever you have Faceless Void, you have to be, to some degree. Outside of the games where it is obvious Chronosphere is not reliable. Which, there are some situations that can happen.
Right, if the enemy has like a lot of saves or something like that.
I mean, Winter Wyvern changes his hero a lot. Sometimes even Shadow Demon can change it. But
not the case in this game, though.
No, not really.
Dire's middle tower is
A
under
little
attack.
gust action, but we'll secure the rune. That's an aggressive rune to take right there. Still 2 minutes of nighttime.
Dive after him, try and punish him. Ame is here, and he could just straight up Chronospheres just the Night Stalker. That leaves an opening for the Batrider to go for the back line, try and pull the sniper. The stun does hit a lot of heroes, but Ame's BKB is doing too much work. He cuts down 2 different heroes with the 3 versus 5. There's no way they can keep going. DY is actually chasing after this with the Assassinate Supernova combo. That was pretty slick. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough damage by itself to finish up RTZ, but it was close.
And that long-range poke is nasty.
Yeah.
And I think we're already seeing the problem with the dive if the Lasso isn't the one setting it up. I mean, someone's going to get chronoed, and then what is the counterplay?
Yeah, Ame seemed not worried at all. He was just like, I'm just going to chrono this guy, and the fight's going to be fine.
He knew he had 30 bashes saved up from earlier.
That's true.
That helps as well. And now all of a sudden you're in this type of game, which is starting to feel like a Faceless Void game. You know, you have all this strength between this Terrorblade Kunkka. What can you do with it? It's all all dependent on this one jump.
So, yeah, it's very dependent on that one jump, and then I feel like also simultaneously, you kind of need a longer drawn-out fight, right? Where the BKBs wear thin, and then your Kunkka actually starts able to have an impact with his Aghanims and his Shard, you know, like get the Torrent Storm and Tidal Wave to start disabling these heroes. But in that moment where the BKB is popped on a couple of these heroes, you just don't really have much that the Kunkka does for you.
I mean, alternative is you can just get more jump in a way, or you can just get better angles. If you want to solo Chrono Night Stalker, if you're killing the sniper at the same time, you can trade out cores, right? And maybe you're confident taking the carry man fight after that because you have an ET Spirit somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know, man. They're like, Theo the Core jumped the sniper in that last fight, and we didn't even see like Arena or Supernova on top of it.
No, he just melted.
Yeah.
And this sniper has his condo right now. So these Ags shots hurt, man.
A lot of damage, and I mean, look at his build. He's got 2,600 HP, but he also went for the Defiant Shell. So he's got an extra 7 armor, 7 all attributes.
This guy's got 2,600 HP with 35 armor.
Yeah, like how do you actually kill this guy quickly?
And you don't. It has to be terribly basically hitting him.
Which probably guarantees you're going to get a hit by a couple of assassinates in the team fight. And all of that, I mean, it just sounds like to me they have to get the jump on Ame.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
That seems like Shopify's only win condition.
That's what I say. All these Faceless Void games come down to a certain point. You got to jump the Void. And I feel like in the games where you got to jump the Void, the Void knows that. So as long as I don't get jumped, guys.
High ground into, okay, they already get the initiation, but the BKB, really fast reaction from XXS, and that is just perfect. Hits the arena, forces down the BKBs from Shopify, and Ame's chilling. He jumps in, doesn't immediately see the Chronosphere, but he's like, fine, you used your BKBs, I've still got mine.
You gotta remember, this sniper has night vision too. So if you're not jumping him, he can just run in with his 3,000 HP or whatever. Yeah, and you're not getting a vision advantage. XG did not pull the trigger on too many ults there. They still have the egg, they still have the chrono. If Ame didn't get hit by a torrent on that leap in, I think 2 heroes are getting chrono there. Very tough lineup to run into, and that's pretty much all you have.
And it keeps getting tougher every single time Roshan is taken. Nice fast moves from Extreme. They're going to TP up to top lane here, not give Shopify too much room to maneuver. The rest of the team will go through the gate, and they'll kind of try to sandwich this area. Shopify know that, though. They back away.
Yeah, this game is in XG's control right now. They're going to clear out the
find him. Yule's spear back.
And they're just moving really well. They haven't given up any bad fights or deaths that have resulted in a free Roshan going Shopify's way or something of that orientation. And once more, Yopaj having a perfect game, 5-0-4. But he hasn't gotten his impact at the right time and place to progress the game for his team, right? And that's a big thing. Also should mention this Wind Ranger is powering up, man. Like Jinq went back for the Maelstrom. This guy's about to solo kill some Terrorblade on the back end of the fight. No joke, so it's just more problems popping up right now.
Oh, even more area control with the Gale Force as well.
Yeah. He's had that. He's a problem. Very hard hero to kill. The Grease is a really nice aura to have in this game, especially versus the ET if it ever occurs, but they're mostly physical between the Night Stalker and the Terrorblade. And then if you don't kill him, he might just kill you. This hero does a serious amount of damage.
And so many shards that they take the enemy Tormentor and it goes to the carry. So Ame now has the reverse time walk, even harder to catch him. Saberlight has to use his BKB as he's trying to cut waves deep on the enemy side of the map.
I like he's speared in there. Send a message.
Yeah. Let him know.
Yeah, I don't know what the message is. Sent it. Core continuing to look for pickoffs, but I mean, not found one in a long time. Is this the pickoff? The 3,000 HP sniper.
Can they do enough damage? Double damage on Yopaj makes it a little bit easier. And okay, that's enough. He didn't even really need to go for the hit. Yopaj just dipped after throwing his combo.
That did so much.
Yeah, how did that do so much damage, man?
God damn.
The hell? I mean,
Batrider cooking.
he landed a lot of torrents.
Radiant's
felt like.
middle tower
Yeah,
is under
Batrider doing
attack.
1,300 there. That seems high to me, but I guess, yeah. He's level 17 now. And
Well, that certainly gives me a lot more hope for Shopify in this question of like, how do they take these team fights? I mean, if you could do that to a sniper, I honestly didn't think just the two of them could combo down a sniper that easily.
that looked pretty good.
I mean, Al's got the Bloodstones, so even larger torrents.
Is there a world Kunkka just carries these late game fights with how big he is?
I refuse to believe that against the Faceless World.
Yeah, but if something goes wrong, right?
Sure.
Just Chrono hits an ET and nothing, or like a Phoenix dies in a lasso before the fight. Grenade now for the sniper, but I don't know if that changes much for him.
He still has an 8-second BKB on Ame. He's had to use his BKB once in this game. Because where I was going with this is that, like, well, even once he gets down to a 6-second BKB, like, eventually he's going to start getting, like, Refresher. You're going to get to that point on Faceless Void where you've got 2 Chronos and 2 BKBs.
And now he has the Lincolns, too. So he really only has to save this BKB for the Night Stalker silence, which is what you predominantly want it for here.
Still, I mean, Arteezy is close in net worth. He is really not that far behind. Ame, he's got Scotty, Manta, BKB. He's going to be going for a Silver Edge.
Silver Edge?
Yeah. So I think this is just a positioning thing, right? Like, you kind of need to be able to fully take advantage of the jump that you get, right?
You break the Mars. Like, this used to be the terribly built burst Mars. But this item is not what it used to be in terms of damage output.
Yeah, no longer having the crit buildup, right?
Yeah, it feels real bad. There's a reason we're not seeing it. I feel like, I don't want to say it's a dead late game damage item, but
Radiant's middle tower is under
not
attack.
nearly what it used to be in. Oh, a courier snipe, that's a refresher orb. That's a pretty nice pickup. But meanwhile, you're getting sieged. You're getting pulled in.
BKB goes off, dodging the spear.
That's about
Through his torrent, but that feels pretty bad. Torrent Storm now on cooldown, didn't really get much done.
Silver Edge done for Artor. You still have this Aegis though. And it is
8 seconds?
Yeah, only 8 seconds actually. So if you get a lasso in the next 5 seconds here,
Okay, the jumper Q, who's trying to take down the building by himself, he does get popped. Saberline able to follow up that initiation on XX. He's got to hit with the torrent, and they are rushing through these heroes now. He couldn't actually save the Phoenix. No Supernova means this team fight is going to be hard for Extreme. A nice use of the Sunder from Arteezy allows the Night Stalker to stay in the fight, stay on top of Ame. What a nice heads-up play from Arteezy.
sick team fight from Shopify Rebellion here. They bring everything together at the exact point when they need it to. As that Aegis runs out, they get the lasso, lock in the fight before XG can decide if they want to retreat or not. And that's that ET Spirit amping the magic damage on the go, just shredded through him. Nice flame break to make sure that this Phoenix stays in the Chrono. It gets bumped back at the end. He would have had that up their sleeve regardless, and I mean, there's no egg there. Arthur's like, oh, that was
no egg.
pretty easy.
I think the biggest blunder there was XXS, right? He gets himself stomped by the ET Spirit before he pops BKB.
Yeah, a lot of little things went right for Shopify and wrong for XG there.
Yeah.
But Shopify happy to take advantage of it.
That arena is so important to limit the Terrorblade's damage, right? Like, you need the arena walls to keep that the ranged Terrorblade from being able to throw damage at these initiations.
I mean, Wind Ranger got popped off the Lasso Spirit combination, and then Mars Phoenix got nothing off.
Yeah.
So you're basically looking at a 2v5, and you're not going to win a 2v5 at the enemy base while there's an ET Spirit running around. This ET Spirit is really nice with their late game lineup. The Batrider plus the Kunkka magic damage, the Spirit's just running around. If you don't get your BKBs off, you're gone.
It's funny how crazy a swing it is. As you said, like, if something goes wrong,
Yeah, it's
then
over.
Shopify, you're just able to wipe the team fight really fast.
And that's why I was talking about this Kunkka. This Kunkka is, he's still ginormous, man. And he's had 0 deaths. He even got, an extra 10% off this robe for magic resistance reduction. You're throwing an ET Spirit in there. These magic nukes are basically doing pure damage into this lineup unless you're BKB'd. There's no pipe. There's no glimmers.
Yeah.
It's all armor oriented. I think Yopaj is absolutely king of these fights. If something goes a little wrong for XG, right?
Yeah.
If these Chrono Egg arenas don't go off or they don't counter-initiate the bad jump in a good spot, this Kunkka's going to roll in. He's just going to roll you over. No doubt about it. There isn't really an answer to him.
XM's build up. He has gone Shadowblade next, and he's going to go back for a Linken's.
But does any of that really change the paradigm of the fight?
No, I think that is one thing about this build is that it is very much a mid-game build.
Yeah.
Right? And where you go from that, Ags Conda, after that, like it doesn't seem very clear.
I mean, I would assume you just amp it up with like a Daedalus or something. And he's going for survivability, but I don't know if him surviving changes much. I feel like it's a win more thing in the fight. We'll see. Maybe he'll just surprise me and carry it again. I do want to say, I love watching XM play. I think this guy is one of the more creative players we've seen out of China in a lot of the years.
Yeah.
And he's one of the weirder players we've seen in Dota in the last year's three. His hero pool is wacky. His builds are weird. He's willing to try the stuff nobody else is willing to in like high stakes matches, you know. He's just sitting there. He's just chill.
Yeah, I mean, I really would have thought at this point you would start transitioning to more right-click builds. But even his 20 talent, he went for the Shrapnel DPS, right?
I feel like XM is that guy in like your party stack. He's like, I'm gonna try this game, you know? Yeah. Except he's doing it on a top tier team in a world-class tournament.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I want to play Conda Ag Sniper this game. Okay. Is it good with our lineup? I don't know. You guys figure that out. Well, they're gonna find him, and that is the ideal. He's gone.
Perfect initiation. Oh, even better if they get the Supernova. Alpha to get caught in the Chronosphere, just the Night Stalker. That Night Stalker is very dead.
Yeah, he almost got two.
Gem on the ground, so even better for Extreme in some ways. Gleipnir, actually.
I mean, I don't know if XG can chase, though.
Yeah,
you have to respect the Kunkka here.
I can't believe Xinq's stick around like he is.
You're gonna think of this is bold.
Whoa, what are we doing? Are we going in or are we going out? Which make up your mind.
Both, apparently. The problem is there's another last up in 20. This is the strength of Batrider. If you keep playing this single pickoff game, you don't mind trading cores because you can just do it again. Your threat's up, whereas they have to wait a very long time.
Yeah, everybody gets these, like, you get that one pickoff. It's a crazy part about the Batrider pickoff is like these death timers get longer and longer and his cooldown gets shorter and shorter.
Power of the hero. I mean, we're talking about Roshan's this game. Refresher Shard Roche. You put a refresher on this Kunkka, he's gonna be out of control. We should also mention this Swift Blink on our tour right now. Really important item in this game if you can get on the back lines. He's just on the front line. Like, what is happening here?
Yeah, he's just got hello.
He broke him.
Yeah, just broke the Mars and killed him right away. What a positioning here. Xinq tries to hit that shackle, not gonna work. Theo Lecor is gonna chase down the Phoenix, no problem there. Ame's in an awkward position. With no Chronosphere, he's not nearly the same kind of threat. They're just ignoring him for now, leaving him behind the middle of all these heroes. Tries to jump forward, doesn't hit the Batrider.
Needs help.
He does. Q's trying to run some interference for him to be able to retreat, and that works.
Meta's not even online. They're playing this aggressive. Now they're just going to go back to Roche.
That was pretty sick.
God damn, Shopify Rebellion firing on all cylinders here. As Artor just plays that tree line to perfection. There's no flying vision, I guess. And he will reap the reward. So I assume you give the Aegis to the Terrorblade because you're going to siege, and this Refresher Shard could go to a lot of people.
Oh,
Aegis to the Night Stalker. I guess you finish the refresher on Yopaj, so Artor gets the refresher shard. So he doesn't need the Aegis because he has double BKB, double Swift Blink, double Sunder. Which is pretty ridiculous here, right? Unless he gets chronoed, he is not dying, and he's killing everybody else.
Nice wrap from behind. Saberlight sets up Arteezy. They'll get the kill. This Wind Ranger get the gem back into their hands again.
This game has swung completely.
It's been a while since we've seen a arena egg combo or a Chronosphere egg combo. I mean, I guess we kind of saw it on that Night Stalker, but not really a big team fight one.
And Big supported him coming in for Shopify. On top of that, Roshan, they took away the refresher shard from Ame, but now they have a pipe and a Wind Waker. between the Bat and the ET.
Oh, you threw that assassinate, but you should have been worried about the Batrider. Gets the pullback onto the PB. Still silenced.
Where's the Chrono? He couldn't get it. Now he slept. Are they going to turn on this?
Maybe. Still has to speed KB, so they got to be careful, but they also got to be a little bit confident. I mean, no Supernova off of that Chronosphere, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
That was almost looking like a 4 or 5 man Chrono again. But once more, these ults are not lining up for XG as Shopify just keep catching them off guard, putting them in awkward positions. And now these cores are getting big. Saberlight is continuing to scale in this game, become a late game carry of his own. I think the itemization for Shopify has just been on point this game. Every item is coming together right now. An amp damage rune for the Kunkka, in case you needed some more damage. We'll provide it.
Yeah, I kind of forget sometimes about the... that was that kill at the sniper. It's because he had amp damage. So he hit him with all of these spells that got buffed up 25%. I forget about that change that happened.
And when you have ET Spear flying through, it's just even more insane.
Yeah.
We should mention level 25 was unlocked for Ame, so he does have backtrack available as long as he doesn't get broken, and refresher finish for XXS. So some late game of their own coming in.
Maybe that's another reason RTZ win for this Silver Edge, right?
Yeah, it is good versus Void.
You can break that talent.
I mean, so far his build has worked out really nicely in the fights for him. He can position deep with the Silver Edge. He has a Swift Blink to further gap close if he needs to, potentially dodge a Chrono or something. He can Swift Blink in and kill an egg if it ever exists, which would force the Chrono onto him. There's a lot of interesting things he can do with it, and just let his 2 other cores play the front line. So you're never going to see this terribly, which is a problem for XG. Ame cannot Chrono everybody in this game. I mean, if your lineup is not killing somebody else outside the Chrono, I mean, what are you doing? Your 3 cores are not matching up here in the ultra late.
Yeah, we thought that was going to be, Xin-Q was building up damage, the sniper was still scaling, but again, it's just like, what do you do past the Kanta? Our Wind Ranger has kind of gotten to Gleipnir, but nothing past that has been looking at Hurricane Pike for the longest time.
I mean, nobody can run in the fight either. Unless you take Yopaj out. The Wind Ranger can't go in and just start focus firing somebody. You can't swoop in an egg. You can't walk up with Sniper and start hitting people.
It still poses a problem. I mean, Shopify, you've done a really good job making these fights chaotic, but I think it's easier, right, when you're outside of the base. But hitting high ground makes things a lot simpler for Extreme.
Yeah, you're looking for the lasso jump, but you're worried about buybacks here. Worried about trading kills or ults into buybacks, into you lose a lot of map control or a gem or something. Definitely a bit spooky.
Dealacor has the Wind Waker, by the way, so there's a potential for save inside of Chronosphere.
Yeah, the Wind Waker is huge on him. I would not be surprised to see XG try and get one if they can later on.
It also means he can, like, lasso, and the assassinate response isn't as good.
True. This is an interesting maneuver here. Did secure the vision. Shopify gave it up.
At the successful scan, I mean, they very clearly know Extreme is up here.
Again, how do you start the fight? Are you willing to just go in and Chrono somebody? I mean, his Aegis is still up on the Night Stalker.
20 seconds. They might try and run in and force it.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if I'm Saberlight, I'm just going in, right?
Dealacor gets that initiation. Ame jumping forward, looking for it, doesn't find anything right away. Meanwhile, the egg is going to go off, but Shopify have managed to get themselves out of here. Now they hit the Chronosphere. It doesn't actually grab the Night Stalker. They're just going to hold Kunkka, but at the same time, they do manage to burst him down. That was just enough damage. Saberlight now going to fly for the hills. Look at that Torrent Storm, though. Half health on Ame.
Damage, man.
Maybe stops Xin-Q.
Go back.
And DD still going in here, but look at our Torrent. He picked up a DD and it's just immediately on top of the sniper, rips him to shreds. Ame's heading for the hills, but Saberlight's after him. You can't outrun this Night Stalker. He's going to catch up to you. Gets him on the silence, now tries to go for the TV, immediately denied. Ame will fall. What a great fight for Shopify Rebellion, as they're now going to be able to head to a high ground confidently, get some buybacks out of Extreme.
DD Rune at the right place at the right time. He's going to have a little smirk about that. It's paid for that Rune to appear as Yeah, I mean, they just forced it at the right time with the H. Just creates a weird situation. Ame finds the right target in that Kunkka. You get him down, but then 2 buybacks out of Shopify. You take the fight, you're going to force buybacks out of Extreme, but have you overextended here in a base fight?
Yeah, trapped inside that arena. That is not a safe place.
So more buybacks traded. And if Artur gets out, which he does, once more, this build has just looked beautiful in this game. They get 3, and they get Ame and XMs there. They just can't find the Terrorblade, man.
So 2 for 4 is the buyback trade-off from these last 2 engagements to the favor of Shopify. They don't have buyback on Yopaj. They don't have buyback on Theolacor. But the only person who does have buyback on Extreme is XXS.
Oh, that's the big item here, right? Refresher for the Void. You need more Chronos in this game. There's no way around it. Yeah, there's too many threats. You're going to have to Chrono and kill either Nightstalker or Kunkka, and then with the second one, find this Terrorblade.
I mean, Kunkka is definitely the best target right now with no buyback on him.
100%. But you have to keep in mind this Wind Waker, right?
Yeah.
All of these fights have started with the Batrider going in first, which means this Blink Wind Waker is not as reliable on the Chronosphere. If you go Chrono Shopify right now, I mean, it's the easiest Blink Wind Waker of the old course life. And then what are you doing? Are you refreshing to kill the same guy you already chronoed once?
In which case, you're stuck at the same problem, which is you're only killing one person.
Yes, Chronos, and that's not good enough anymore.
Trying to pull him in.
This is a ballsy push.
Yeah, trying to get that buyback out of another hero. Saberlight, 20 seconds left on him.
You gotta know this next Roshan is equally important as well.
Yeah,
I don't want to throw away these fights and ramp control.
It is going to be Radiant side Roshan, so that is big advantage for Shopify, who are already up 17K and have the buybacks in their favor. Arteezy looking at a refresher after he blew through his refresher shard earlier. GQ finally got an item. It feels like it's been 20 minutes, but got Hurricane Pike now. Not that that's going to help too much with the damage. Trying to hunt down Ame. Ame does have that Lincoln's, remember.
Yeah, he also doesn't have buyback. That is a juicy target to be looking at. There's a lot of pressure on Theolacor in this game. There's been a lot of pressure on him the entire time, but these fights really come down to what his decision-making process looks like. Does he find the aggressive go, try and bring a good core target back that doesn't have buyback? Does he play defensive, let the Chrono happen, play for the Wind Waker save? There's different routes you can take. I mean, you get both. And this ET Spirit, equally important. I don't think Kitrak's position is difficult. I mean, you're going to stay way in the back, right? But yeah, you make sure the Spirit is in there during the Torrent Storm, during the Bat Lasso. It's so much extra damage. This hero has a level 20 talent that actually helps you now with extra aura radius. What a concept. They gave this hero an actual talent for a refresher for Artur. Oh boy, we are approaching that 60 minutes if this game goes long as well. But this Terrorblade he is absolutely kidded, man.
25 talents all over the place. 30-second Sunder cooldown off. Got the Ghost Ship fleet.
Oh man, Shield Rune
cooldown.
That's a huge rune when you're playing into resistance reductions.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And you're looking at the daytime, so you kind of got one shot to force this NS ult out. If nothing happens, then you're actually happy, but Saberlight, he's gonna pop it here. Well, now you have to get something out of this ult, because it's daytime interval.
Now they're sitting up on the high ground here. Jump forward, Theolacor gonna go for Ame, but remember, he has that shield rune. They also get away from that supernova though, so it's not that bad. Dodges the assassinate. Really, he actually got a lot out of Extreme there. Even a BKB from XXS as he was afraid of getting stomped in that position.
This NS ult's running out. And that's the biggest factor right now, because it's about to hit daytime. 10 seconds left. No refresher on this NS.
Ame jumping in. Looking for his opportunity. Gets bounced for now. Doesn't have the BKB.
Refreshed.
Okay, he's just going to go for it. He says, this Nightstalker, we're going to take him out of here. But he does have buyback. They committed a lot to be able to get that one guy. And he's back into the fight now.
They forced the refresher BKB out of Artur as well on that upper side of the...
Oh, I take that. Goes for it off the assassinate, but he jumps in pretty far without his team. They're going to try and scramble to follow that one. They hit the shackle shot. Beat Terror Wave. Q, but the Terror Wave. It pushes them away. Yopaj now able to get off his BKB. Gets the other side of the arena. XM heading for the hills. Trying to stay away from this Terror Blade right now, but he's getting grabbed. Lasso pull him into Arteezy. Arteezy will finish him off. Now he turns to the Mars. Looks to finish him off, but the Aeon Disc goes off. So instead, he turns to DY. Looks for the easier target. Blows up the Phoenix. Back to XXX now. No, Arteezy's going to start backing away.
Where is
Laying
Ame?
off of Yopaj, slowing it down. Keep it away from Ame. Ame jumps over to the side, realizes he has to come back to help out his team because Arteezy is going to kill everybody else if he doesn't manage to stop him. Shackle shot, trying to help out. A lot of damage coming up. There's Wind Ranger, and he's able to cut him down. It happened. The Wind Ranger was able to bring down the enemy carry.
Q, God, he full duration shackle on this Kunkka. Focus fires him down, gets a second focus fire off in this fight. Look at the damage numbers here. 6,200 for the Wind Ranger. He is the real carry. That Hurricane Pike did some work. He even got level 25 in the middle of that fight. Takes focus fire, kill, advances. And that's why that second one came up as fast as it did here. Yeah, he's taking a drink of water there. Q knows he did some serious work. As they got so many buybacks out of that exchange off what looked like an awkward start for XG because Ame, he refreshed for a BKB so he could chrono under the NS silence.
Yeah.
He did not get a first chrono off.
With the darkness that was expiring and a hero that could buy back.
Yes, that was just about as low value a double chrono that didn't exist that you were going to get in that situation. Still, they get the Terrorblade buyback here, exchange it for a Mars buyback. There is only one buyback up in this game, and it's Kintrax right now.
Fighting for vision, fighting for an initiation. They get the jump onto the Wind Ranger. Great jump through Terror Wave on top of it. Once again, Ame pops the BKB. What is he looking for? He doesn't have Chronos here, not for another 10 seconds. This is awkward. He is getting way far away from his team right now. He's time walking to the corner of the map.
They didn't see him?
They didn't see him. XXS, fortunately, he is able to get away thanks to his BKB, but Q is on cooldown for 100 seconds. This pretty much guarantees Roshan the Shopify.
Does he have the buyback cooldown? Does he have the gold? He does, actually. So 20 seconds he'll have buyback if XG want to try and get here, but I guess Ame TPing out, it's impossible, and that's a nice heads-up play by Shopify Rebellion, using the advantage. They find the jump, no Chronosphere, being able to be committed there. So
I think that's
Roshan.
That's twice now, right? It was that one play where Arteezy got really aggressive on the Roshan on Radiant side. It's twice now where they've read, like, okay, Chronosphere's on cooldown, Meta may be on cooldown, but we're stronger.
Yes,
they don't have Chrono, we should just fight it.
And it's all that Terror Wave. These Terror Waves have decimated the backlines of XG. And Artur's just going to leave it all for the team here. Ags for the back.
And Aegis for him too. Leave the cheese behind.
This man's backpacking a Wind Waker. Like, what is happening right now? Nobody wanted any of this? Okay.
I imagine probably Saberlight takes like cheese or something.
I think Batrider Axe was definitely the best of the three they had in terms of raw impact.
Gem, that's what happened. Okay.
Yeah, there's just a lot to pass around here. So Cheese does goes to Saberlight, and it's going to be this Aegis, Ags, Batrider now with his level 25 talent as well. We are approaching 60 minutes. These buybacks, also something to keep in mind as Ame has his, but he's missing the gold.
We almost have level 30 on Ame. So you're going to get the extra large Chronosphere. 2 of those bad boys.
Oh, he went Butterfly. He went back for Butterfly here.
Oh,
there's no evasion, Pierce.
That is a cool play at this point in the game where, yeah, Arteezy has a whole lot of items and none of them are MKB.
There's no Bloodthorn either on anybody in this lineup.
Yeah.
It is a big deal.
That's just a great game read. Pop the darkness, play for this high ground.
Keep in mind, with Artur, he went back for this disassembled Aeon Disc. So if he gets chronoed, he's popping that. No Dispel on the Void. There's no Nullifier or anything. Should be a guaranteed survival almost. You're gonna force the re-chrono, but that's pretty much what you're hoping to do in these situations. Or at least get Wind Waker for one, Aeon Disc the other. Might even survive too. But he is the one with the longest buyback cooldown right now. And it goes back to your original question this game, which is, if you are Shopify Rebellion, how do you go high ground? I mean, are you just praying Theolacor gets a clutch double lasso?
Yeah, that lasso, you're not going to get the sniper. He's too far back there. It has to be some sort of lasso that catches Mars plus Wind Ranger, but then you're opening yourself to get like Supernova, Chronosphere.
I mean, the Aeon Discs are out on Extreme as well. Like, there's an Aeon Disc on XXS. He's not the easiest target to get into a lasso. There's a second Lincoln Sphere on XM, matching the one on Ame.
We're just going to have a shit ton of Aeon Discs across the board, and it's going to be messy.
I mean, both teams, the thing is, both teams do not want to enter a 5-on-5 situation without their key buybacks up. That's really what this game is coming down to. I mean, that is the way you counter Chronosphere. You just have lives to throw into it, worst case scenario. And like we saw in that Roshan fight bottom, a lot of that fight was Ame and Jin-Q killing the Night Stalker, and it was Artur and Yopaj killing the rest of Extreme.
Yeah.
But these carries were ignoring each other. I don't think either carry really wants to go on the other. Like, I think if Ame finds RTZ, he's going to chrono it, and he'll take that. But you are freeing up the fight for this Kunkka, who in some ways has been the one really destroying them over the long term. Hex done for Yopaj as well. I mean, you find that jump if he wants to slot it in 60 minutes. So Shopify Rebellion are going to have 60-minute advantage here as well with the map.
Yeah, Extreme, a little bit surprised that nobody is out on the map right now to farm.
So look at this heads-up play. They knew they were going to think about going for like the 1 or 2 camps you can get. And they were actually right.
He pole vaulted himself over there too. It almost worked for Shopify.
That was a sick idea by Theolacore. They were too early.
Yeah.
They were too good for their own good. There'll be some neutral items going Extreme's way. Actually, they got none up here.
Yeah, I mean, they're fighting over the small camps. You got to get to the Ancients if you really want to guarantee some tier 5s.
Man, Ame's RNG this game, questionable.
Yeah, he farmed to what, 7 creeps?
We'll have to discuss this with the Atoro after the match. For now, he's stuck with what he gets, which is nothing. And it's a smoke. Daytime smoke from Extreme. They don't want to give up these neutral items advantage.
Assassinate goes on BKB, forced on Saberlight.
Pirate Hat Night Stalker right there.
Pirate Hat Terrorblade now.
Double Pirate Hat. They're still holding on to 2 Ninja Gears, which sometimes you just opt for anyway.
They're just going to build up a massive net worth advantage unless Extreme can start getting some Pirate Hats of their own.
This game is getting wacky. Extreme are still looking for neutral items. All right, they get a mirror. Oh my, that is
mirror shield.
Disgustingly good one this game. Ooh, that is disgustingly good. Because I believe that procs before Lincoln's.
I think you're right about that.
And I remember testing this. And so I'm pretty sure if Ame gets hit by the second lasso off a primary target, it will mirror shield it. Is that how it works? I actually have no idea.
I think secondary...
it doesn't proc the secondary?
Yeah, I think secondary lasso always cuts through. I don't think you can block it.
But you definitely don't want to lasso him anymore. I do think it procs first.
All right, gonna get some Ancients here. Got one. And buyback is coming up for our TZ Terrorblade, so almost everybody in the game is going to have some buybacks available.
Full 30.
And now we have the MKB. So you went back for Butterfly, but our TZ's Terrorblade has more than enough net worth to fix his item build if needed.
Pirate Hat will do that. He's cooking Giant's Ring Batrider. Okay, now we're talking.
Who's the real Batman now?
Yeah, we got a man in this game. Oh, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. Look at that bat. God damn. I like how we're not showing the bat. And then he took it out.
He took it out. He wants his smokes. He wants his ninja gear.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually think that item is one of the worst tier 5s now. Other than other than it gives you the MS. But I think a lot of other tier 5s are the utility, the gold, and like whatever it is usually just better.
Yeah.
Giant's Ring Wind Ranger, I mean, sure. I feel like Giant's Ring is the item you take when nothing else looks as good. As XXS just walking into our door gets broken.
Okay, they do have the Supernova right on top. The Terror Wave Wave's not going to be able to do much. While on the side, they hit the Chronosphere once again, focusing down this Night Stalker. Saberline's dead, but of course we have plenty of buyback, so this is just all apart. Hits the Spear Arena combo. X6S can go for a second Spear on the Terrorblade, but he has the Aeon Disc, so he pops that one. But he needs to be able to find his Thunder option here. A second Aeon Disc going off, a second BKB, and Shin-Q can't finish him off. X6S still trying to chase after him, but he realizes damage deals and walks away. Heal the core, and second is another Aeon Disc going off in the middle of the target again. Up and down, up and down. Now a bolt, it lands on top of him. Ame is going up and down. He lands off of Mr. Kunkka's wild ride, and he finally gets off. Time wash back and forth, back on the Saberlight. A potential dive back with a double spear coming out from X6S. Stop the damage dealers, finish off the Night Stalker. That's a hero that cannot come back into this fight, but they do have a couple more. A buyback onto Terrorblade. Yo, they're finished off now. Kidrak as well. They've gotten so many heroes out of this extreme now with a massive advantage over Shopify.
That's a dieback for Saberlight here. A buyback on the Terrorblade. And so much of that was Ame just sitting there, man, fighting this Night Stalker for so long before the fight focused on him. Sunray, MVP for sure. That Sunray did so much damn work in that engagement. In fact, this Phoenix had near the highest damage as well. And XM just gets to sit back there and pew-pew his way to victory. 6 assassinates. That is disgusting.
I mean, to be fair, Shin-Q did the least damage at 3,000, but that's because probably 80% of his damage was on Aeon Disc.
Double Aeon Disc into another BKB Shadow Blade away.
Yeah.
Just to survive this Wind Ranger. And that Chronosphere hit the Night Stalker. I don't even know if he got a... I don't think there even was a second one. I think he used it again for just BKBs. So much of that fight happened on the bottom half. It was just Ame and Saberlight hitting each other for the entire time as Arteezy tries to survive. And a lot of that was XXS hitting basically an arena double spear on Artur that forced out the first Aeon that allowed the Focus Fire to go to work. And a clutch egg from DY at the start of that, right? Because I think XXS is in trouble if he doesn't get bailed out there with the NS being able to potentially commit.
XXS also hit that double spear
at
the end of the engagement too that helped protect Ame. I mean, just really sick stuff from the 3 and 4.
And now they have buyback advantage. 3 buybacks on cooldown here for Shopify Rebellion. And they
got the pick on Yopaj, so make that another buyback that's going to be forced.
When will he use it is the question. I mean, if you're not going to insta-pop it here,
you almost have to wait for the Night Stalker. It might mean they give up Megas.
The downside of waiting for your NS is that Chronosphere is coming up in 20 seconds and that refresher in 60, and you're not going to have a base.
Terrorblade is behind. Look at Arteezy's positioning here.
But you take the 4-on-5 here. And if you want to take the 4-on-5,
I mean, you have to do it now, right?
You have to go right away.
Take it now or you don't take it at all.
He is in prime flank.
He could hit a sick terror wave here. Hey, look for it. Looks for his own. Immediately gets on top of the sniper. Tries to hit that last one. The terror wave breaks in. XM is able to get away. They don't have the vision. Now Arteezy's on the run, but he's been trapped by the Gladiator Spear to the trees. They have too much follow-up for him. He gets popped by the sniper. He's done it out. No buyback there means Shopify. They have no way to be able to stop this. Extreme gonna just work their way through the buildings and close out game 1.
A beautiful play, but not enough in the tank here as, I mean, we'll see what Saberlight Yopaj can do. I mean, they gotta push him into the Fountain Wars hideaway. That's your only option. The only thing you manage is somebody got off the BKB time walk, and the Chronosphere goes to work. Now a lead into the Night Stalker. They had a small little hope and prayer that they would somehow tidal wave Ame and kill him with the help of the Fountain. I mean, that was more than a prayer. He almost died there. You just get a couple backtracks. What a hype game.